Hey. Say hey. Okay guys, this is your girl Simply Betty 101 coming to you today with a different video. I'm not really set up to do a video. It's not a cooking video or anything. It's just I need to talk and cook dinner at the same time. So yeah, it's better. Okay, so you guys are gonna see me cook and talk at the same time. Okay, so today's video, and maybe I should have got everything that I needed to make dinner before I started recording. But it came to my realization while I was talking with my husband, and I've had this conversation several times, you know, in my adulthood, of coming into being a woman, coming into being an adult. Once I transitioned in high school to college, I really wasn't prepared for that. And then I realized a lot of people are not prepared for that transition into adulthood, because I don't know many families, well-established, poor, or middle-class families, that really talked about adulthood. It was always the talks of, you know, enjoy your childhood now, because once you get older, you're not gonna have all these privileges and luxuries and yada yada yada. But it was never really a talk of, okay, you know, this is how you budget, this is how you pick a career, this is how you hone those skills of things that you like to do, and you know, if you enjoy it, do it. Once I transition into adulthood, I'm gonna wish that I was a child. And I don't necessarily wish that I was still a child, but I do wish that I was prepared more, you know. I don't ever remember having talks about credit and bills. I knew bills existed, but as far as how to maintain all of that, none of that information was gone over with me. And it kind of sucked. You know, it was never brought to my attention that what all adulthood was about. And I really wish that I would have had that talk. I really wish that my parents would have went over it more with me. I'm not saying that they didn't. They did teach me how to count my money, but I really wish that they would have literally sat down and was like, you know, they didn't necessarily have to show me their bills, but that reality of what they were going through would have been a huge helping for myself. Because like a lot of students who leave high school and go into college, you get bombarded with all these credit card companies, and you know, they touch on it a little bit about don't get credit cards, but they don't really go into why, or if you do get a credit card, be responsible. And so I just really wish that those life lessons would have been brought to my attention early on, and in more details. Basically, you know, I have the skill set of taking care of other people, because I help my mom and my dad take care of my brothers, because I'm the oldest. So I helped them a lot when it came to my brothers, which is completely fine by me, which is why I think I was ready for my son a little bit better than what I, you know, was mentally prepared for. Like I remember all the late nights and all of those things. So taking care of a child I was prepared for, but really taking care of business I was not. I kind of goofed off in college. I did work because I learned really early, very quickly, that if you want something, it's not going to be given to you. You got to work for it. And I like nice things. I like to shop. I like to dress nicely. I like to keep my nails done. I like to keep my hair done. My parents can't always finance those things, especially when I was in college, because they're paying for tuition, and then they still have my other brothers to take care of, and they still have a household to run. So they can't just dish out extra money for my extracurricular activities that I want to do. Shopping and eating out and going to the movies. Those things are fun to me. And so I got a job. And I got a job to fund those things. And also, after my first year of college, I maxed out 2 credit cards. And so that's when I was first introduced to credit and how credit works and the long-term effects of bad credit. And so I took it upon myself, okay, I need to learn these things. And I'm almost 30 and I'm just now learning the full extent of what credit does. And it took me a long time to build my credit back up. You guys, in college, my credit score dropped down to, I kid you not, to a 493. I'm gonna be very truthful and honest with you guys, because you need to know these things. A 493, there's nothing you can get with a credit score of 493. And if you think credit scores does not matter, if you plan on renting or staying with someone else for the rest of your life, then no, it may not matter to you. But if you plan on buying a house or getting a car or getting a brand new car, and not necessarily a rinky-dink used car where you have to drive through neighborhoods and buy a car off of somebody, yeah, those are fine. But I want a brand new car. I want to just go on the lot and say, hey, I got this, you know, give me a lower interest rate. I don't want a sky-high 10% or double-digit interest rate or anything. House, car, none of that stuff. You need good credit, and they didn't teach me that in high school nor in college. So I think what I'm gonna do now from now on is kind of trying to talk about topics that weren't necessarily discussed with me. I don't know if you guys can hear me when I turn my head. Weren't necessarily discussed with me when I think I should have gotten those things, or when I think I needed it the most. And I'm not saying that my parents were horrible parents for doing that. I don't think it just came to their realization that they never talked to me about it in depth. There are a lot of parents, and even my husband, you know, we've talked about that. There are a lot of parents out there that don't talk about finances and credit scores. You know, we don't really talk about those things. I don't know if it's out of shame or not knowing the full extent of it, or, you know, if you have a family where things have been passed down to you generation wise, you probably don't necessarily have to worry about credit if things are passed down to you. Or if you're a person who actually takes care of their stuff, like if your parents bought you a car and you still drive that car 20 years later because you've taken great care of it, and you know, things like that, it probably doesn't. That talk would have been very beneficial. Teaching your children how to count their money and not letting anybody cheat you out of your money, I know that is taught without a doubt. That's one of the first lessons I learned. I think my videos will probably take on a more serious tone, but in a joking manner. The boy, go watch your TV. Wrong. Okay, I need to focus. This is taking me too long to get this in the oven. Start talking more about transitioning, things that would have helped me transition into adulthood. Getting a young person mentally prepared for the real world is a whole nother ball game. I like to think that I was part of the last generation of that was taught that you go to school, you get an education, you go to college, you get a job, and it's pretty much your life. But I'm also the generation that started to see that's not for everybody. You know, I have 2 degrees underneath my belt. I do think if it wasn't taught at home. It should have been at least taught at school. School is supposed to prepare you for life, right? It's supposed to get you ready for the job that you're going to be in for the rest of your life. I do think now that we are the generation of technology, we can voice our opinions more, and we can help others achieve those transitionings way better than what we did, and they can do it gracefully and not worry about, boy, don't you push that off the table, and not worry about the failures in such a dramatic way. You know, failures are lessons, and being realistic about life. Me doing this YouTube channel is a better way for me to help others across a broader area as opposed to just my community. I would like to share, and hopefully it helps someone. If it just helps one person, you know, I'm not looking for, you know, to be like one of those famous YouTubers like Ellery, and I also love Shameless Maya. She keeps it real. But they're great. Yeah, I'm very well diverse. Building a website, I did that all on my own, you guys, and I had no background in anything. I took a computer science class in high school that was mandatory, and a computer science class that was mandatory in college, and that's it. Everything else I learned on my own. I'm still learning, but I did it on my own. So, you know, if you have help and point you in the right direction, I can give you those resources. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. This is your girl Simply Betty 101. I'll have a lot of more information in the description box, so just check that out below. And you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Be blessed, less stress, and life is a lifestyle. I love you guys.